Hi everyone, it's Bedouin here with an update on V3. So we have 9 days left until testing kicks off. That's going to be on July 20th. Between July 20th and August 8th is going to be a testing period, and then on August 8th is our official launch. During our testing period, what we want to do is go through and test everything on the site and make sure that it's actually ready for launch. So we're going to be stress testing, making sure all the pages load correctly, make sure that everything works correctly, and finish up anything that we haven't gotten finished by July 20th. So 2 things that we've identified that probably won't be finished by then are the credit store and then clubs and associations. So those are 2 things that we really want to make sure are right and that everything's working correctly. So association shows is something that has been an issue on V2, and we definitely don't want it to be an issue on V3, so it needs a little extra focus. So what I'm sharing right now, if you'll notice, it looks a little bit different than V2. That's because we have done an entire layout change. You can see some similarities. It's basically the same thing, just with different colors in this homepage. You can see that it's got more of a purple tone. We have this purple color as our main color now. Our logo is still the same, and everything pretty much functions the same. But as you'll see when I log in, there's been a few navigational changes. And this is just to help the player experience and make sure everything's easy to find. And if somebody new joins the game, then they can just go right to something and it's not hidden, a bunch of links deep. So I'll just go through the navigation and you can see for yourself what's different from V2. So the first navigation, everything's on the left now. So the top one is the account. That's the little person guy. And that's what it defaults to whenever you first load a page. So since I logged in, I haven't done anything on this layout, or I haven't done anything on this menu. So it's going to open the account. So I have my avatar, link to my profile, experience points, reputation points, and then a few different links associated with my account. This dashboard page, which is also the welcome page, that's still in progress. We're going to be putting a couple of things there. This is kind of going to give you an overview of the game. Just ignore that for now. But the next section is our estate menu. And so this is basically estates and facilities on V2, all combined into one menu. You can see there's a couple of things missing, like tab management. That's going to go under settings. We want the most important links here, the things that you're going to be visiting all the time. So that would be stable, herd management, estate management, etc. So the next link is our world. And you can see a lot of the links from the world have been pulled out into the menu, so you can go directly to them. Something different from V2 that's on V3 is search is now under the world. It doesn't make sense for one link to go into the big menu, so we just moved it into the world. And then a couple of areas that you'll be visiting all the time. And then finally, our community menu, and that includes forums, online, our calendar link, and then a couple new features that we're working on, including the bug box and feature request, which is basically going to replace the bug forum and the suggestions forum, and it's going to allow for a bit more transparency and the ability for staff to organize and manage those 2 different things. So if we were to go into world, and you see that menu sticks. But if we were to go into, say, the rescue, then it actually sticks on the world menu. So hopefully this will make things pretty easy to navigate and you're not always hovering over those menu items. So yeah, that's the world, or that's the menu. We also have breadcrumbs, so we don't have any more back buttons. If you want to go from the rescue to the world, you would just click there. We have our money, which links over to the bank, and then our credit store, which also links over bookmarks, notifications, and logout. So the last thing I want to show you, there's a couple new things, but I really want to focus on one thing, and we'll spread the updates out over a couple of videos over the next week, so you can see some different things that we've been working on. But the one that I'm proudest of, because it's taken so long, is a redo of the custom generator. So I'm going to select the Gypsy banner, and you can see here that it looks a little bit more visual. It's completely different from V2. It defaults to a name and a gender, so you'll have to change those. So let me change this to Lucy. And with Lucy, she definitely needs to be a mare. So I'm going to change her to a mare. And if you click on these squares, it actually updates the image. And Solo is working on redoing these squares so they're more representational of the whole horse. We've just been going through a couple of different iterations of those. So I'm going to choose Sil Bay because that's my favorite. And let's say silver. And if you see some errors here, we're still working through testing. So they will be fixed. But let's just go through and look, it's a spotty banner. So those are pretty rare. So I have my spotty banner. You'll notice that this whole time it's been updating colors and the gene string. So not only is this cool to play with and actually create horses, it's also cool as an educational tool. If you're not sure what's happening with genes, then you can come here and play with the different gene selections. And whatever modifiers and white genes you've chosen up here, you can select the different variations down below. So if you want heterozygous silver, you can choose that. Same for any other thing. The one thing that you can't really change is like for Sil Bay, it only allows for AT-AT. You're not going to be able to choose any other Eqcetera gene selection because then that would change up here. It would change the actual color. So you'd have to go back up here and change the base color in order to get different selections under the base genes. You can also modify your white genes, which is really important for the leopard genes. You can add on, just like on V2, the body markings, and that will update the image. One thing that's different, and that's hopefully a really good different, is you can now input the performance stats. So if I wanted to say 30, I no longer have to click 10 times to get it to increase 10. I can just put it in. So with that, there are some checks in here. So if I were to put 100, it's going to take that 20 and add it to what the old value is. So then that would use up all of my allocation points. You'll notice that I have a really expensive Gypsy banner here using 17 points. But you see that it has 17 credits. That's because I don't actually have a Gypsy banner coin. So I'm actually purchasing a coin here as I create the horse. So instead of it costing 7 credits, which would happen if I had the coin, then it costs 17 credits. And so I can purchase it and create it on the go. So we're still working on making this open to the public. It's going to be a cool tool to get people immersed into the game just by playing with it before registering. And we're also thinking about making a very simple version part of the registration process. So we're still working through some details on that, like we are with a bunch of different things. So we're definitely working hard on V3, as you can see, and we'll have more updates for you over the next week. And we'll see you in 9 days. That's all that's left before you can log in and be able to test it with us. So thank you.